Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Matt, and we are going to talk about Glow Season 1, Episode 2. It's called Slouch, Submit. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. So, much to my surprise, there was very little... okay, sure, there was a sleeper hold, but there was very little submission manoeuvres in this episode. But
No Johnny Morrison this time around.
yeah, no cameos from what I could tell. But it was kind of ultimately about... It was about a couple of things. Obviously, all of our main characters kind of had their own thing here. Alison Brie's Ruth, kind of... Her thing in this episode was basically learning to submit and be the villain. Like, that's ultimately the end point of the episode, is that... like...
Well, everyone's the hero in their own narrative.
Sure,
And
yeah.
she thinks that, she's still okay, even though she cheated on her best friend, as it were, with her husband. And
And she lies
but
about
she
it.
kind of, she makes up the fact that, oh no, she hired Debbie. They're friends. That was just to get the job, but no one really buys it, and everyone's just like, oh yeah, you're the homewrecker, and they give her that name.
Yeah, the homewrecker. Which I'm kind of hoping becomes our name, like our wrestling name.
Yeah.
Introducing the homewrecker, Ruth
Yeah.
Wilder. That'd be pretty funny. But ultimately, that's what she finds out at the end of this episode. Is like, yeah, you're the villain. People are going to hate you. Like,
Yep.
and as Sam points out, hey, the devil gets all the best lines. Like,
Yep.
you'll get the best meat to chew on in terms of dialogue. But of course, he also goes to Debbie and convinces her to be a part of it, which she doesn't want to do at all at first, but she starts
Right.
getting tempted
Love her.
because she gave up her acting career for normal life and whatever else, a normal life which is now imploding because she's leaving her husband. But
Yep.
like, as soon as he starts talking about, oh, you don't have to, like, you won't be punished for doing the odd improvisation, you won't be punished for having ideas, you won't be punished for this and that, and put in a coma and written off the show. This is your chance to let loose. Kind of what we said. The entire kind of point of Glow in the first place was, it was this idea that they all have a chance to like have their own little niche and just build it on their own
Yep.
outside of the system. And you can see she gets tempted because she says, "Is there a script? Like, why did I ask that?" Like, she immediately like questions herself. No,
Yeah, well, she went to actress mode, so
yeah,
and she bit on it, and I like that scene that led to Sam going there. Is he's going through all the girls' lockers, looking for
the
Alison
dress book.
Breeze,
Yeah, the dress book.
and to find her, and shows up at the house unannounced.
It's a good job
So
it's set in the 80s, because if that was present day, it would
Yeah.
be a phone and it would be locked.
Yep,
And he would get
exactly.
onto it.
What's an address book?
Yeah,
I'm sure most people watching.
Yeah, the old pen and paper routine of the old
Yeah,
days.
but it shows that he does care about what's coming down the line. He's not even a wrestling mind. We find out too that he was a director in Hollywood,
Hmm.
and his own life imploded. So he does have this creative streak, and I
Which-
guess wrestling's the only way that he can get back in.
Yeah, he's got this really funny way of, like, he almost glosses over a lot of the details they actually do need to learn, where he just kind of like brushes it. Oh, Cherry, you train them today. Show them the ropes. Yeah, you've got legacy
Yeah.
there to like to teach you things. Like, she really knows anything beyond like maybe the odd story she's heard from her uncle or whatever.
From her family. Yeah.
So, so it's really funny like that, but at the same time, he does have a creative mind where he does seek out his hero. He's like, oh, Debbie can be the star. She can be the Hulk
Yep.
Hogan of this, which is a weird thing to say now in present day.
Now that we
given-
know what we know
Yeah.
about him, yeah.
But in
yeah,
the
yeah.
80s, in the 80s, that was the thinking.
Oh, he was. Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, do all that. Yeah, he was the big good guy, but yeah, he definitely looks at it from a narrative standpoint, and
Which,
that just goes
by the
back
way,
to
it's a really inappropriate joke, but I laughed so hard when he used his name for the miscarriage. The womb goof, I think, is what he called
Yeah.
it. Um,
goof.
it was funny the first time. As the episode went on, I actually was quite impressed with how the episode kind of brought that in, because you have the bitchy character, Melanie Rosen,
Yeah,
Mel
Melrose.
Rose, she wants to be called, and she's this awful person who at the start she basically steals Alison Brie's shoes. Because Alison Brie's nice enough to offer like a spare
Right.
pair she's got in her trunk, and she's like, "Nah, those are kind of shitty. What about those nice ones you've got on your feet?" And she makes her switch. So right away you're like, "All right, you're the spoiled brat," blah 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 blah. And Cherry pulls her up on it, And Cherry, when she was talking to Sam, a little bit of their backstory like seeped out. We know that they did have one or two romantic encounters once upon a time, but it's not a thing anymore. But we also find out
it was the 70s.
It was the 70s. We also find out that she, in the last couple of years, had a miscarriage, which is why it came up. And Melrose, when she's pushed by Cherry in the ring because she's not pulling her weight, and quite rightly, like, you're on Cherry's side because she has been like a lazy cow who's refusing to do things properly. She's making fun of what's going on. Like, she's doing wrestling holds with Alison Brie and she starts doing sex movements and, not taking it seriously. She's been a joker.
Well, that's it. They're all there to learn, but she has to be the one-upper, even though she knows nothing. Like, the scene where they're trying to do back bumps and she just can't do it. Like,
intentionally so.
You thought it was intentional? I just thought, that was her, like, not being able to actually do it. Because dropping onto your back is something that's difficult, right? Well, like, it's not a natural movement.
Well, Matt, it does come after, like, she has the whole plan, she grabs the ketchup, and she does it twice, and it's very intentionally bad, and she gets up and says, I really want to learn, and she's putting it on, because then it's the third time she goes down, and then she squirts the ketchup out, and she starts going about, I think I'm pregnant, maybe I'm having a miscarriage, and that's when it's like, this is getting dark, like, she's hitting a chord right now, she's going for blood, and, no pun intended, and... Like, that sucked because for the rest of the scene, when Sam shows back up with Debbie, and like the others say, this is what she just did, he sort of rolls with it and goes, story, context, this is a good idea, and he kind of works with it, and he sort of workshops it to a stupid degree, but he keeps bringing up miscarriages, and he keeps using it, even though he knows Cherry went through that, and the entire scene, I kept paying attention to Cherry's face, and the entire time, she looked thoroughly uncomfortable. Like,
and she wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Like, that was it. And it's all over her body. It's not,
And I thought that was really well handled, in that a lot of what he was saying was oddly kind of, when he, what was it, he says, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater, and then a second later he goes, sorry, that was maybe not the right metaphor to use, but like, it was kind of darkly funny, but then she is genuinely uncomfortable, and you feel awkward for her, you feel awkward, they're being kind of, just not considering her feelings, him especially. The rest of them don't know, and that's fine. But Melrose and Sam should know better.
Exactly. And she, Melrose wasn't supposed to know any of that too. She was eavesdropping from the toilet.
Yeah.
And I feel too, she really didn't have to use the bathroom. She was just being nosy, because you get this vibe from her character, really from that first time that you see her, that she's a bit of a heel herself, but in real life, not like, keep wanting to call her Annie. It's not Annie.
It's not Annie, it's Ruth.
It's Ruth. But yeah, because when she shows up and she's making it all about herself, she talks about how she's never bored. She can end up in a Van Halen video if she wants to, and she's just like this prima donna.
Do you like about how the episode plays with Melrose as well? Is throughout, it kind of puts you in these little swings where you think she might not actually be that bad a person. There's that moment where they go for lunch, and I almost called her Annie there as well. Ruth offers to pay for food, and then she doesn't have enough, and she's like scrambling through her purse trying to get the money, and she just slaps down a 50 like it's nothing, and you think, she's being nice and helping her out, and then like 10 seconds later, you owe me $20, by the way. It's like it just sets you up. Maybe she's doing a nice thing. Oh no, she's actually a complete bitch. All right, but rein it back in.
Well, and this is before you see her do the miscarriage thing. And
Once we get to that, it's like, okay, she's awful. Like,
it's all over. Yeah, but I'm liking that the dichotomy they're building between even her and Ruth and Debbie. They're all on different levels.
Yeah, I'm liking the whole entourage. Like the whole team have this mix, because there's the goth chick who was what was she saying that was really cracking me up in this episode? It's when she was like sort of hanging through the ropes, and she was giving advice to I think it was Ruth. She was giving advice to, and that was cracking me up. And I'm starting to, because even though a lot of these other characters aren't like huge, they're not going to have arcs the same way that the main 2 or 3 are, but. She's cracking me up. The Indian girl who seemed to be like attracted to Debbie for a little bit.
Yeah, she's sit there staring at her from the side and watching her. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah, well, because even when she comes in, she feels completely out of place, because everyone else is in their kind of, cheap and easy kind of workout gear. They're all kind of ready to get sweaty and whatever, and Debbie comes in like dressed up, looking like she came out off the set of Dallas or something like that. She's got her earrings in and all the rest of it. She's dressed up to come to this, Which again maybe shows you that she is from the acting world and she thinks of herself as being a bit higher and mighty. Whereas Melrose is more, as someone else points out, you're a spoiled brat who doesn't even know how easy you've got it because you've never had to actually work a day in your life or anything like that. So that I thought was an interesting development of characters. I think that Ruth having to accept that, oh no, you're going to have a big part in this, but you're a villain. And I wonder if the moment will come soon where she'll realise, oh yeah, I am the villain. That's the second biggest role, and that's probably the biggest role she's ever had. So maybe.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and it's essential to the story, you know. If you watch wrestling, you kind of know how it's based off of heel versus face, you know, the good guy versus the bad guy. And when you have a bad guy versus bad guy, it's not quite the same. Or when you have good guy versus good guy, it's missing that spark, you know. And I think she's going to realize that you know, she might not be the hero this time around, but she's found her value. She has value here, and she's maybe not realised that it's exactly what she wanted, but sometimes life has a funny way of. Oh, by the way, I like that Melrose brought up that she was in the orgy scene in Body Double, because I watched that earlier this year. I really like that movie, actually. So that was a really fun thing for them to reference, because I just watched that not long ago. So of course you would pick that up.
Yeah, Brian De Palma, good movie. Yeah. But no, I thought that was a solid second episode.
Yeah, as do I. I do want to watch more. I need to know where this goes now. So they're hooked me. I mean, we talked about this on the last one. Netflix is really good at crafting to binge. Yeah. Because they are expecting you to just roll over into the next one. You know, versus weekly television, which is like, oh, well, we have to leave it with an impact.
Also, so. I liked that the first kind of training here, it was like, all right, let's learn to just slam on the mat. Because it's kind of the first thing you need to be able to do, is actually just land on it safely.
Exactly.
I like that.
Don't hurt yourself.
So there you go. That's episode 2 of G.L.O.W. Still very good. I'm liking the character dynamics it's building, and it's still fun. 80s soundtrack, also still very enjoyable. Yep. Gets me hyped at the start when the 80s music's blaring. But no, let us know what you thought of episode 2 in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. Head over to patreon.com/mailfuzztv if you want to help us out and support the channel. But otherwise, guys, that is us. So once again, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Next review of this should be on Thursday, I believe we said. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Was that the plan?
Yep.
So yeah, Thursday we'll have the next review up, episode 3. So thank you very much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Have you got any vanilla?